Is it really possible to eat healthy and lose weight on a budget? The answer is yes. Let's dive in.
My name is Gina George. I am a mom of two, registered dietitian, and weight loss coach. So let's dive in.
Walmart has definitely upped their game in more recent years. I mean, they have so many more choices. There are organic foods, foods with minimal ingredients, and they just have really great price points. Overall, I'm just super impressed.
So the first thing that you want to think about before even heading to the store is, do I have health goals? What are my health goals? Are you trying to lose weight? Are you trying to balance that blood sugar? If so, then most of the foods in your cart should reflect that.
If your goal is weight loss, then you'll want to choose foods that will help balance blood sugar and hormones, like whole foods high in fiber, low in total carbs, natural fats, and limited amounts of chemicals.
So essentially, your cart should look kind of like your plate. Like if you're trying to model a certain ratio of foods at meal times, then that's how your grocery cart should look.
And you might be thinking, why does blood sugar and hormone balance even matter? Well, if your blood sugar and hormones are not balanced, you'll likely experience cravings, energy crashes, inconsistent moods, and fat storing. All of the reasons why weight gain happens in the first place. Let's start with produce. I mean, after all, this is how the grocery store is organized, so we will start with our fruits and vegetables.
The biggest question I get asked when it comes to choosing produce, whether I'm at a grocery store tour or working with a client, is should I choose organic? First off, what does organic mean? Organic means that it was not grown with pesticides or treated with pesticides. When it comes to choosing fruits and vegetables, I definitely suggest choosing organic when and if you can. But there is a loophole. So there's this list that comes out every year by the Environmental Working Group, and you can definitely Google it, but it's called the Dirty Dozen and Clean 15 list. And I definitely suggest using these lists to help guide which fruits and vegetables you choose. The Dirty Dozen list is the list of fruits or vegetables that have the highest concentration of pesticide residue. Whereas the Clean 15 list are the cleanest of the fruits and vegetables, meaning they have the lowest residue of pesticides.
Here are my top 4 foods when it comes to produce.
Greens. You have to have greens. At the very least, if you don't feel like cooking any type of vegetable, you could always take 2 cups of greens and add it to any of your meals. Spaghetti squash is awesome, and it's relatively easy to cook. You just slice one of these in half. I'd be really careful because they get a little slippery, but once you slice them and scoop out those seeds, you're gonna have all of those nice little spaghetti-like strings, and that could take the place of things like pasta and noodles, and you can definitely add some marinara sauce, pesto, or even Alfredo. So right here I have Honeycrisp apples, and I love them so much. When I am craving something sweet, I will take one of these, slice them up like chips, and dip them into some natural peanut butter.
Fruit is not only a great alternative when it comes to saving money on the budget, but it's also a lower sugar choice in comparison to other sweet treats. You just want to make sure that you add plenty of protein and fat to keep you satisfied.
Avocados are amazing, and you should definitely have them because they add so much more fiber and fat to your plate, and they keep you feeling satisfied. Good news is they're one of the Clean 15. When it comes to choosing canned or boxed items, you really want to look for whole recognizable ingredients.
Chemicals such as preservatives, colorants, or additives can actually cause bad bacteria to outnumber the good bacteria in our gut. Our gut is so important, especially when it comes to hormone balance. In fact, many of our hormones are made in our gut. Hormones control just about everything, from how we feel to how hungry we are to how much fat we're storing.
So I have a peanut butter here, and this one's actually the Walmart label. And you know what? The ingredients look pretty good. So here I have organic dry roasted peanuts and sea salt, and it was $1 cheaper than the other two peanut butters that were like this one. So another thing that you want to think about when you are choosing canned or boxed foods is to avoid added sugars. And now there's a requirement to actually put the added sugars on the nutrition label. And it's very interesting because a lot of sauces and even boxed items have added sugars, but they might be in the form of, let's say, high fructose corn syrup.
Overly processed food and added sugar can cause sudden drops and spikes in blood sugar, leading to cravings, energy crashes, and brain fog.
So it's important to check out not only the ingredients as whole and recognizable, but to make sure you don't have those added sugars. I love this one that I just got at Walmart. It's that Lucchini brand, because it says here total carbs is 6 grams for half a cup. And the one sitting right next to it, which is a more well-known brand, a very commercial well-known brand, was right around 12 and 13 grams. So yes, it makes a dramatic difference.
When it comes to meat, fish, or dairy, it's important to choose these foods in whole form. And if and when possible, you can always go for organic, free range, wild caught, or cage free. Now, whole form means that the fat is included. Yes, fat is a good thing. Fat keeps us satisfied. Fat is also required to make hormones. Here's a quick tip. Because I recommend buying the highest quality protein, if you happen to see some on sale, be sure to stock up on it.
Take advantage of those deals, even if that means that you have to come home and freeze some for later. If you're looking for the easy button and you want to buy some sandwich meats or deli meats, the most important thing to remember is to choose nitrate free. And that's because all of those preservatives, again, can really damage that gut, but more importantly, it's actually been associated with digestive cancer. So we don't want that. When we're choosing dairy items, again, when and if you can choose organic, pasture raised, but I know that it comes down to a price point, so that's where you need to make that judgment call. Here's a tip. If there are foods that you frequently eat, like all the time, then those are the foods that you should choose at the highest quality. So for example, I am always eating eggs and greens. Pretty much every single day of my life, I eat eggs and greens. So you better believe they're gonna be at the highest quality. My greens are always organic, which by the way, they're on the Dirty Dozen list, so of course I'm gonna get organic. And then the eggs are going to be organic, cage-free. So that is something I consume. So again, that's something that you should be thinking about. When it comes to choosing bread, my recommendation is choosing gluten-free or sourdough. When I say sourdough, I mean like real sourdough with real sourdough starter in the ingredients. Sourdough bread was made with a fermentation process that actually gets rid of the gluten. Gluten is actually a protein and most of us are pretty sensitive to it. It's highly inflammatory and it can actually damage the gut. So I'm super excited. Last but not least, I have this amazing gingerbread kit and I am excited to do it. And yes, it is a treat. There are treats in a dietitian's house. We also have s'mores here, which we do sometimes on the weekends. There is nothing wrong with having a treat here or there, but to pack your house full of treats, that could definitely interfere with your health goals.
Because here's the reality, sugar is actually 8 times more addictive than drugs, and pretty much every refined processed carbohydrate at their base is considered sugar. So let's keep those outside of your reach so that way you'll be more successful with your health goals.
Here's a tip. When it comes to sweets, treats, and indulgent foods, what you want to do is you want to keep them outside of your home.
Like ice cream at the ice cream shop or cotton candy at the baseball game. And here's a bonus, if you're not spending as much money on all of these bonus or junk foods, you're gonna have more money to spend on higher quality foods.
You can pretty much find healthy food choices anywhere you go. Again, the first thing that you want to keep in mind is the balance of those foods and of course, do they align with your health goals?
If you love this, go ahead and hit subscribe. My name is Gina George. I'm a registered dietitian and weight loss coach. I help you to lose weight so that you could reclaim your confidence and have consistent, abundant energy.